Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. On this channel, I do everything has anything to do with alcohol and coffee. I have an unbelievable playlist that categorizes and subcategorizes everything to make it easy for you to find. And I challenge you to check out the playlist because you're going to start reading the titles of that playlist and you're going to be there for a long time. But you're going to love it. First comment of every video is also pinned because it has a link. And that link, when you press it, goes directly to the playlist that pertains to whatever I'm reviewing. In this case, it would go straight to my Cabernet Sauvignon playlist because Courtney Benham 2018 Cabernet Sauvignon is on the menu today. There it is. Look, little Courtney falling off his bicycle. Huh? What does this say here? 14.1% alcohol by volume. Okay. Doesn't say anything, really. But I'll tell you a little something. Courtney Benham is a winemaker, and when he was just in his 20s, he started Blackstone Winery. He was very successful at Blackstone. Then he stumbled on, in the 80s, in Santa Cruz, California. He stumbled on a bunch of wines from a winemaker, kind of a famous winemaker, kind of a quirky winemaker, pardon the pun, named Martin Ray. And he discovered, 1,500 cases of his old wine. And he decided to, one of the things that Martin Ray was one of the first California winemakers to make 100% varietal wines. In the United States, a wine can be the varietal. For example, Cabernet Sauvignon could be labeled Cabernet Sauvignon. It only has to have 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, okay? And all the varietals are like that in the U.S., unless it is a varietal native to the United States, then it just has to have 51%. But anyway, he started making 100. Now, I don't really like 100%. I think the blending, that little bit of blending really makes a big difference in flavor and softening the wine and giving it structure if it needs it, much like Bordeaux has discovered hundreds of years ago. A lot of South American wines, they have to be 80%. A lot of those will be 100, but I find them a little rough. Anyway, whether you like it or not, he was one of the first ones to do it. He bought the rights. Courtney Benham bought the rights to Martin Ray, and Courtney Benham Wines fall under the parent company of Martin Ray, as does Angeline. He makes Angeline wines as well. So if that makes any sense, let's now, whoa, the cap flew off. It's a screw cap, which is fine. The a little bit gone. I actually had this with simple dinner the other night. I had grilled steak. I took some asparagus. I put olive oil on it, and then I put salt, pepper, and granulated garlic, and I grilled that, and I had a baked potato. It was that simple. It was really good, though, and this wine did go well with it, I'll say that. So here it is, no food. Now, a wine with a screw cap. Screw caps are good for wines that aren't supposed to age at all, because no air is really getting in there. It's still going to go bad eventually. But it'll take longer, because what a cork does is, even though it's sealed nice, micro air still gets in, and it slowly oxidizes the wine and softens it, and make certain wines, makes them better to a point to when it goes downhill. This is one, a Cabernet generally, that can use that micro, but since it has a screw cap, it's going to slow that way down, in which case this needs to really be aerated. Poured into a decanter, poured in the glass half hour before you drink it. Use an aerator on the wine that you can put in here and pour out of. This wine is 2 days old after I opened it, so it should be ready to roll pretty nicely. So here's the color. So yeah, it's very dark, right? Can't see through it. No. Looking at the rim, the very top, usually it's light. This one really almost no differential there. All right. Wow, it's got some nice blackberry, plum. People say dark fruits. It's dark skins that match that. It really is kind of what I'm smelling. Plum and blackberry. We'll leave it there. If you tell me you pick out black cherry, yeah, it's in the ballpark. Any fruit, you're going to get fruit. I don't have to necessarily get the fruits I'm picking out, but you'll get fruit. As long as you're getting fruit, I'm getting fruit. Boom, we're there. What I'm looking for, I like it balanced. This is my fruit. This is a 2018. It's 5 years old. I'm looking for some woodsy, some leather, some leaves, tobacco to balance the fruit, you see. It is a Cabernet. And I'm getting it, but it's very light. It's not balanced on the nose. It's more fruit, and then just a little bit of that lump under earthiness. Now, for in order for wine to be balanced on the palate, generally the fruit, the tannins, the acidity need to be about the same strength, right? Balanced, that's what they call balance. So let's see what we get here. We're getting mainly fruit forward, a little bit of that leather, woodsy, cigar or tobacco type thing going on, but it's mild. It's understated at this point. What I'm doing here is I'm just taking an acclimation sip. Yes, I had this 2 days ago with food, but that was 2 days ago with food. No taste here. Well, I mean, I got taste. I'm not going to describe it. What I want to describe is the tannin. Whew. Best way to, if you don't know what tannins are, because most people have had iced tea, and you have iced tea or even regular tea that's too strong. You get that real astringent on the top of your tongue. Almost, if you rub your tongue in the roof of your mouth, it almost feels rough. You know, that bite you get from that overdone tea. Or if you've ever had red wine, same thing. Now, that's what tannin is. That's what they do. When you have something fat, like asparagus with olive oil or a steak, you coat the tongue with that fat by accident by eating, and it softens those and blunts out the tannins, and they kind of soften or go away. Aging will do the same thing. Aeration will help do the same thing. If that's, but anyway, they're strong in here. It's a preservative, and it's another layer to wine, so it's not a bad thing. But they're not what they would call soft, what they would call grippy, right? These are words, wine people, but you can just imagine what that means. Grippy means a very strong tea, and soft means one that's done right, and that's done through aging and aeration to get that, for the analogy of the tea. All right, so the acid. It's got good acid. Get that on the side of the tongue. Your mouth waters like you've bit into a lemon. So that is matching the tannin. It's another preservative, by the way. And then finally, the fruit. That was so strong on the smell. Getting the fruits, very nice. Still the black fruits. And now on the palate, I'm getting a little something I wasn't getting on the nose, which now I am getting that quote unquote earthiness. Remember, I lumped everything into that because most people will describe, kind of dry leaves. They might say tobacco. They might say leather. They might say, twigs or wood, which you get from oak aging. But so I lumped that kind of under earthiness thing, and it has that. So this wine is indeed balanced. Now more into the flavors. I was looking more at So, for example, whiskeys, most bourbons, there's ways to tell in a general ballpark if it doesn't say exactly how long it's been aged. A lot of times it'll tell you 10 years, right? And there's ways it'll mean 4 years, 2 years, whatever. Wine should put it on. They should say aged in this oak for this long. I don't know what the problem is with wine. Just tell people, please. Just tell them, all right? Okay, you make everything secretive, make everything a mystery, you make everything hard, and then you wonder why nobody's drinking it. All right? So make it easy. Tell what grapes are in there. Tell how long and what wood you aged it in. You know, you wrote a bunch of garbage on the back about whatever. That's what we want to know, okay? The region where the grapes came from, the grapes that are in there and the percentage, and how long it's been aged and in what wood. Not hard. And if you want, well, we'll figure it out. I was going to say you can even put, but don't worry about it. Just give us that. All right, you give us the year. If it has a year, if it has a vintage. That fruit's strong. I like it. I like the earthiness. Not getting a lot of spice. Not getting a lot of wood. Not getting a lot of vanilla. A little bit of, seemed like a little bit of wood on the finish. Anyway, that's it. Overall, I like it. I do like it. It went really, because it has enough strength and enough with that bouncing going on to when you eat. This is a wine to be served with food. When you do eat, like what I had, it really made it nice. It did. It really complemented that meal very nicely. So thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. It's important. It keeps me motivated and highly dedicated. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh, it didn't click. It's some bonus footage.